Dear friends, these are exciting times for the nation when the economy is booming, industry is growing, and the markets are all-time high with a wholesome, healthy growth for the common man. This is the best time for India while we flag the moon and the sun. Today, I use this platform and salute all the scientists of ISRO for immaculate performance as we stand with them for all the future endeavors. The unprecedented show of diplomacy and confidence at G20 presidency under the charismatic leadership of our Honorable Prime Minister has won the hearts of global leaders and all the opinion makers and has given a big impetus to our overall market sentiments. While many global economies are struggling and shrinking, India is proudly marching ahead with Honorable Prime Minister's plan to stage India among the top 3 economies in the world in the next 5 years. This will be giving humongous opportunities for the industry to grow and flourish and be a part of the history. Friends, needless to add here that India is a pharmacy of the world. Be it affordable generic medicines all over the world, or lately the most efficient and cost-effective vaccine supplied by India to over 155 countries. India stands on the top of the deck when it comes to healthcare for all, including the largest Jan Aushadhi scheme and Jeevan Jyoti Bima Yojana at such a large scale covering the length and breadth of the country. India is now at the center stage to become the manufacturing hub for APIs, medical devices, which are to be supplied to the global market. Dear shareholders, we are so fortunate to be the leading player in both these segments with opportunities knocking the door every day for the next phase of Morepen, that is Morepen 2.0. High-end APIs where we operate that need exemplary chemistry skills with world-class quality and compliance requirements. This is a highly regulated industry. It's not very easy to make a mark in this segment for the regulated market. And the good news is that our DNA is API. We are in the API business with a solid track record for 4 decades now for research, backward integration, cost-effective manufacturing, and we are all set to ride the wave of opportunities in the API segment, making us a reliable alternative to China for long-term regulated customers who want to have an ensured supply for all the raw materials. Friends, another winning ticket we have is the impeccable track record of regulatory approvals by all the top-notch regulators of the world, including the US FDA. I'm proud to share that your company has scored a hat-trick of FDA approvals with nil 483 with no major observation reported by the auditors. So this is a big news. While at the same time, many of our counterparts have been going through the multiple regulatory challenges with the FDA authorities. In addition, our facilities have been approved by PMDA Japan recently, which opens the floodgates for the company for the regulated, long-term and lucrative Japanese market. Our plant approval by KFDA Korea has placed us among the leading players in that market also. Our facility approval by TGA Australia for supply of APIs in that continent also marks a landmark achievement of the team. Last year, around the same time, we got approval from Anvisa, Brazil, for the South American markets, in addition to the numerous customer audits which we proudly passed through. Dear friend, your company is all decked up for the next level and fully geared to embrace all the upcoming opportunities of growth and leadership, including the new regulatory regimes, which is our core strength. With the market leadership of products like loratadine and montelukast, which are both anti-allergic, we are proudly the largest manufacturer in the world for those products after the innovator. For the key products like atorvastatin and fexofenadine, we are expanding our capacities to cater to the increasing market demand due to the changing landscape in the favor of India as against China. Our present capacity utilization is over 90%. We continue working for optimum utilization to accommodate the wide range of products with multiple stages of complex chemistry. In the last few years, we have added 85 kiloliters of capacities to keep up with the increasing demand. We are increasing our present capacity from almost 400 KL to 600 KL in the next 2 years. We are working with the team to complete the capex plan and the various fundraising options. As your company is a debt-free company, now having cleared all the CDR banks, including the preference shares, we can easily raise debt in the books to finance the upcoming capex requirements of around 125 crores. As we spread our wings to the regulated markets, we are increasing our product offering with more and more DMFs in those markets. As we started late, but now we have decked up a stack of 213 DMF, 26 DMS for the US market, 174 DMS for other countries, including Europe, Taiwan, Korea, and Japan. We also have 11 CP filings in Europe and 8 ideals in China to support our customers in those markets. Friends, these were the updates on the future business development and regulatory side. Now, coming specifically to the business. Friends, as you all know, the last 3 years are the most challenging period in the history of mankind, with the pandemic turmoil in almost every industry. Thank God we are out of it now. And we need to be better prepared to face such challenges, any eventualities that may come in the future. Pharma industry, though adversely affected like others by extreme logistics nightmare and the global panic, worked day and night to keep the supplies as a responsible stakeholder. At Morepen, we continued our heads high and weathered all the storms today. Even under the most challenging times, with limited availability of resources, raw materials in the last 3 years, our API team did not let the spirits go down, and our production has gone up by 55% from 215 tons to 334 tons during this period. This is a true example of resilience and a will to perform and excel under the extreme conditions. In the same period, 20 to 23, our sales revenues of API have also grown by 73% and registered a solid compounded annual growth rate, which we call CAGR, of 20%, beating the pandemic swings. It was important to maintain their supplies in the domestic market during COVID time, while the global markets were also disturbed. This gave us an opportunity to serve the domestic API market with our strategic focus product basket, particularly Montelukast, which was highly recommended during the COVID period. In last 3 years, our domestic turnover has almost doubled with a CAGR of whopping 25%. Our export has also grown by 66% with a CAGR of 18% during 21 to 23. And we, with our team, has added 185 more international customers during this period and has kept the energy level high when the travel was absolutely closed. Now, of course, the travel has started, I would say rather aggressively, and we have added a lot of new positions and recruiting the best talent in the industry to expand our sales network globally. The company continues to participate in all the major exhibitions like CPHI to expand its reach and maintain a better one-on-one relationship with the customers. My dear friends, the backbone of API business is R&D department and the pride and passion they carry. They develop and help launch the new products at global levels to provide affordable generics to the common man. This entails a lot of patience and tenacity to keep your spirits high in the time of turbulence. I'm here to congratulate the whole R&D team for successfully developed 35 new molecules in the last 3 years, which are being launched as and when the patent expiry of the innovator product approaches. I must share the total market size of the finished dosage of the products pipeline as per the global data is expected to be around $67 billion by 2025. So it's a huge amount, which can give handsome revenue to the company when generic version of these drugs is launched after the patent expiry. Despite the consistent turbulence and the market uncertainty, regulatory affairs teams has continued relentless efforts and has filed 36 DMFs and CPs in the last 3 years. So R&D is doing well, regulatory affairs have been doing well. API market expected to have consistent growth of 10 to 15% and will continue at the same pace. We had a CAGR of 20% in the last 3 years for these products. Government is launching many new initiatives, including the PLI scheme to promote India API manufacturing in India to reduce dependence on imports. The next step is to cater to the global customers and set facilities for global capacities for API in India and become a manufacturing hub for the whole world, the pharmacy of the world, as our Honorable Prime Minister has envisioned. Government is opening API parks to bring big API projects and invest big investments. We at Morepen are very bullish on this segment and continue to invest our time and resources behind the API. Yes, friends, let's switch gears to the next fastest growing segment, the medical devices. Medical devices are under the brand Dr. Morepen. So Dr. Morepen serves and is market leader for home diagnostics or point of care. They usually call it POC. This is the sunrise industry and has been very buoyant during the COVID times. Though it had big shortages and import challenges during the pandemic time, our team, with their untiring effort, despite all the adversities, maintained consistent supplies and doubled the units sold for blood glucometers and BP monitors in the last 3 years. The revenue has gone more than doubled during this period, and overall CAGR of 29% for the medical devices in the last 3 years. Dr. Morepen has a happy user base of 10 million happy customers who use Dr. Morepen blood glucometers in India. They carry at home. And we have supplied 1.4 billion strips, almost equivalent to the population of the country. So many strips we have supplied to the customers. This is a strong, loyal base of customers that generates regular revenue stream. And these customers, they buy other products of the company also. India being the diabetic capital of the world, we estimate around 75 million diabetic patients. Even if we take 60% of them as an addressable market, we can't reach everywhere. We have a long way to go, and we expect the market to continue growing at 20 to 25% in this segment. The next important area of concern, my dear friend, in this country is growing population of heart patients and people having cardiac problems at a very young age. We have been serving the BP monitor market with our innovative products and have taken leadership position in the last couple of years. It was difficult to maintain regular production during the COVID times, but we did not allow the supply chain to break. In the last 3 years, we doubled the supplies and the revenue and both and clocked a CAGR of 26% in case of BP monitors also. In addition, we recently started manufacturing of digital weighing scales in India to replace imports. Other products being manufactured are digital thermometers, stethoscopes, and oximeters, etc. Just to share with you, Morepen started this business back in year 2000 and started the world-class production lines in 2026 under the government's initiative of Make in India, which just completed 9 years this week. All the facilities are set up as per the global standards and are inspected and approved after the rigorous audit of ISO 13485. Friends, our scientists at Medical Devices R&D Center, close in Delhi, are developing many new products and working on many new technologies for the long-term growth of the company. We continue expanding our reach through direct distributors in India and have also started advertising above the line media to create a long-term sustainable bond with the customers. Cricket coach Rahul Dravid is our brand ambassador for these range of products. On the export front, other than Nepal and Bhutan, which we were doing earlier, we have recently moved to Thailand and started creating a customer base for the long-term market. Medical devices remain the focus of Government of India, and they are opening medical devices parks in all the states to provide and build a world-class facilities for the domestic consumption and also to cater to the export market. We think medical devices market is very underserved and has limited players in the organized segment since the regulations are very stringent. We expect the market to grow at 15 to 20% per annum, and we are very aggressively pushing various growth opportunities in the segment. Dear friends, since the time is short, I'll briefly touch upon RX and OTC business also. In the RX business, we have grown at a CAGR of almost 10%, 10.5%, and are consistently improving our efficiencies and productivities. We have recently refurbished our manufacturing facilities as per the global standards. We have replaced our slow-moving machines with the latest high-speed automatic machines and increased the capacity to 1.73 billion units per annum on a single shift basis. And this will start contributing on the top line from Q4 onwards. In addition, we are setting up a plant for 3 billion units per annum for export purposes, which would take another 18 to 24 months to start giving major revenues. In the OTC range, which includes popular brands like Bernol and Lemolate, we continue to reach and distribution. We also have a range of products for the online customers. We have not invested much behind these brands, and we are working on the long-term plan for funding the OTC range through strategic partnership with and other possible options. Detailed financial numbers have already been circulated with you, and regarding company's operating margin, net profit, EPS, and I will not take much time to repeat that. But before I close, I would like to reiterate, we are excited about the grand opportunities in the pharma sector and aggressively working on the select options with the right funding options and have open shores because we are a debt-free company. We do not have any limitations to go right or the left. At the end, I'm so grateful to all the stakeholders, customers, suppliers, colleagues for their persistent support.